The estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 2017 will be presented in Parliament next Monday. The Prime Minister made the announcement during a news conference yesterday. Dr. Gonsalves said the debate on 2017 estimates will take place on Monday, January 30th, and will be preceded by a meeting of the Finance Committee this Friday, January 27th. The debate on the 2017 estimates will be followed by the budget presentation on Monday, February 6th. The ceremonial opening of the Parliament will take place on that day from 4 in the afternoon. The year 2016 is reported to have been a challenging one for the Forestry Department in the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries due to mainly both natural and man-made hazards. Cornelius Richards, Senior Forestry Supervisor, gave this assessment as he discussed issues relating to forest management during the face-to-face program aired on NBC Radio on Monday. Mr. Richards said that one of the biggest challenges over the past year was the increased frequency and quantity of rainfall. He said they are still in the process of assessing these events and the effects they are having on their watershed. Mr. Richards said that the forestry officers are currently conducting visits to the various sites. The National Energy Unit, in conjunction with the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development (GIZ) and the Energy Unit of the CARICOM Secretariat, hosted a workshop for electric mobility stakeholders. The workshop ended on Thursday, January 19, 2017, and was held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Conference Room. Participants were drawn from the local energy unit, government ministries, namely Transport and Works, and Economic Planning and Sustainable Development, and other public and private sector stakeholders. The two main facilitators for the workshop were Program Manager Energy CARICOM Secretariat Dr. Devon Gardner and consultant from Siemens Power Technology, Dr. Benedict Romer. The agenda for the workshop included topics on projects introduction and electric mobility overview, objectives of the Ministries of Transport, Economic Planning, National Security, Energy, Finance, Value Chain of Electricity, Ecosystem Design, and Electric Mobility Initiative setup. With ground having been broken for the construction of the Black Sands Resort, the Member of Parliament for Central Leeward believes the completion of the resort will make his constituency to Mecca of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking at last Thursday's groundbreaking ceremony at Peter's Hope, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sir Louis Straker expressed that this project, funded by the PACE Development Incorporation, along with the governments of other plans for Central Leeward, will make it center of attention within the tourism sector. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has vowed to redouble their efforts to get illegal firearms off the streets of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking at the press conference, Commissioner of Police Reynold Hathaway noted that during the year 2016, they were able to remove some 43 illegal firearms off the streets. He said that for 2017, they'll be putting more measures in place to deal with crime and criminal activities here. Commissioner Hathaway also noted that 2016 was not a good year where crime is concerned, as a record number of 40 homicides were recorded, especially mostly gun-related. Commissioner Hathaway also called on the public for their assistance and cooperation to tackle the issue of crime. In more police news, Randy Shallow, the man charged for what is probably one of the largest seizures of guns and ammunition found in one hall in this country, is no stranger to the police. On Friday, November 19, 2004, Shallow, then 18 years old, appeared at the Serious Offences Court, jointly charged with 20-year-old Luther Badenoch of Dayson Cottage, 17-year-old Earl Jack of Redemption Sharps, and a 14-year-old student in relation to the murder of 41-year-old policeman Elson Rackle Richardson of Barrowley. A promise has been made to journalists that ply their trade in and around the courthouses that threats made to them will be taken seriously by the police. It is not unusual for persons who are attending court and their family members and friends to issue threats to journalists who attend court proceedings, and these threats usually go unpunished. But now, Commissioner of Police Reynold Hathaway has promised to address with a degree of urgency complaints by journalists, as there have been reports of media people being attacked, spat upon, and even having their cameras destroyed. The music program at the St. Martin's Secondary School received a tremendous boost on Tuesday, January 24, 2017, with the donation of a quantity of musical instruments from one of the school's alumni, Mr. Alexis Ballantyne. Among the musical instruments donated are 2 keyboards, a Fender amp for the keyboards, a drum set, 2 guitars, 2 tambourines and microphones. The items are valued approximately at US $1,500. Speaking at the handing over ceremony at the school yesterday morning, Principal of St. Martin's Secondary School, Mr. Wendell Edwards, expressed gratitude to Mr. Ballantyne for his generous donation, which he said will bring tremendous benefits to the students. Mr. Edwards said the school's music program started about 2 years ago and since then has grown. He noted that music is compulsory for students from forms 1 to 3 and disclosed that the school intends to have no less than 10 students write the music exams at the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSE in May-June 2019. More local news when we come back.